Welcome to Let's Draw Lives. I guess new announcement is we are now doing this much earlier than before. Hey, Fade, you in? Good to see you, man. So surprise, surprise. I'm running these earlier now than before. I've been able to do that now with my schedule in life. So without further ado, let's get into it. And if you have any art related questions, feel free to let me know in the comments. Invite your friends, invite anyone that you feel would gain a lot of value out of this, and let's have fun. How was your week? How have you been, Fade? It's been a while. And let me know if you can hear me. By the way, I didn't even do an audio test to verify if my audio is coming out. I just went by faith. That is great news, man. And yeah, this is the new time now for the live streams. um, I noticed that most of most of the viewers were like tuning in, and it was really late for them. And I also want to, like, I don't have to do the live so late, and I can enjoy the rest of my day with my wife, enjoy the evening. So it's a win-win for everybody. You guys can tune in now as often as you need to, and I can tune in nicely and help you guys where I can and have fun with you guys. You guys have no idea how much I enjoy your company and just the engagement. So it's good to see you. Doing pretty good, bought a course on character drawing, learning anatomy and stuff. That's amazing, man. If you do have like an Instagram or something, you can like feel free to show me in the DM your progress. I'd be happy to see that. Or you can post in the community as well. Up to you, man. But really happy to hear that you're investing in your arts, in your skills. We need more artists. I made a big hit. It's not even the cameras. I made a big hit here. Okay. What's the name of the course, by the way? I didn't ask. It's about character drawing by Character Art School on Udemy. Okay, I've never heard of it, but I hope you find it valuable, man. Do they have like a community? Do you have access to like community where you can get like questions answered? What that is. Oh, okay, nice. It's good, man. I love the power of community because you can be in an environment where people are doing the same thing. I'm not drawing something you can see. Okay, I'll draw this side. Where you can, basically get certain questions answered, right? Um, People who are going through the same information as you, and maybe you'll encounter someone who has the same problem as you. And so I think it's very valuable like that, and also just motivates you to keep going. So that's great. And how much was the course? You've uploaded some of your posters, design and sketches. Nice. And that's in the community or on like where did you do that? There was a discount going, so it was like 500 Indian rupees. Okay. I guess it must be very cheap. I'm not sure how much that would convert. Let me see in dollars. I'm curious. How much is 500 Indian rupees? 500 Indian rupees. Okay. Yes. Cool. Yeah, that is a sale. Yeah, like $5. I just saw that now. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, give her a stomach. Okay. So, is there anything that you wanna know in terms of art or anything you'd like me to draw? I'm all yours. It looks like you're the only one here, so you have me for the rest of the live stream until somebody else joins. I don't know why you can't write your IG, but here's what you can do. Just you can follow me and then I'll check out your page. How does that sound? Uh, she needs a bigger forehead. You wanted to know how I use reference so that I don't copy them. Um, okay, number one, there's nothing wrong with using reference, right? Especially when you're starting out, because the more you can draw um, with a reference, the more anatomically correct your drawings will look, right? So that's the first thing I want to say about that. Number two is that it's never meant to be an exact copy. I forgot that my face shows now. So yeah, it's not meant to ever be an exact copy of what you're drawing. It will look a lot like your reference, and there's nothing wrong with that. But there is no drawing because that's now realism, right? And realism, if you look very carefully, you'll see that it's missing a few things, you know, like it's a bit off in some areas. And so that's one of the mistakes that beginner artists make, is in thinking that you need to, um, I don't know, draw in such a detailed way, or that it's wrong if you want to draw from imagination. And it's like, no. So let's make an example. I can look for a picture I have on my PC. Just a moment. And I'm gonna draw how the face is. I don't know if I'll be able to show it here. Right? Maybe not the. Maybe I'll see because I'm using OBS. I'll try it out. Let's just finish here. Okay. Let me look for a picture. Oh snap! I didn't mean to close the whole thing there. Reopen, reopen, reopen. There we go. I'll see if I can show this to you. Get a picture of someone's face. Let's think of a celebrity. Let's get Tom Holland. Let's get Tom Holland because he was the first person that came to mind. So, this picture here. Ah, why is it showing like that? Okay, I'm gonna download this picture. I hope it's high quality. Save image. Okay, then I'll open. Okay, and then let's see. Now let me add a screen. Media source image. Okay, let's put image and see what happens. Browse, downloaded. Let's see, let's see. There we go. All right, you see the picture, right? So this is Tom Holland. Now, I'm gonna get his face. So let's zoom in and like that. Boom. Like that. Yeah, I think that's fine. And I'll just do the outline. And let's say I didn't really want to draw Tom Holland. Like I liked the way he was posing in this picture. It just inspired me. And it's like, okay. Oh, I do want to draw Tom Holland, but in my own style, right? So depending on what you want to do, if it's the first thing, then where the nose is isn't as important, right? And I see over here, okay, I need to extend the head a bit. Alright. This is ear. That's his head. There's other ears here. Okay. Do that. Boom, boom. Now, trying some more. You can tell I'm getting the details, like the important stuff. And I won't be too detailed with this. I just want to make my point. You also wanted to know how much time you should practice. Okay, I'll let you know that soon. And I can let you know now, but one thing at a time I think makes sense, so then I can spend more time telling you about that. Okay. I'm gonna look more at his nose, it's a bit more like that. There's a very strong bridge on his nose. Right, and then, I mean, so I don't like go so deep into detail. Like, you can tell to a degree that this is Tom Holland, like it doesn't look exactly like him, but it carries some of his features. So, this is one way of using references, just getting enough of a likeness, but like you can tell maybe the eyes need some work, or the head size is not exactly the same. And so it depends on your intentions. If you want to draw Tom Holland like properly, then yeah, you would need to, you know, get certain things right in his appearance. So I have a rough look here. Let's just add a bit more detail. Right, exactly. You can see Tom in that. But from here, if I wanted, could make the eyebrows thicker, you know? So it all depends on me and what I want to do with the drawing. And that was one of the like the best things that I learned about drawing from like professional artists and art instructors is the fact that it's not about detail. That's not what makes a good drawing. Then in its form and shape, right? Yeah, you could say that it's form and shape. It's just it's up like it's about expression is actually even the word I want to use. I know like the technical term you would probably say something like form and shape, but yeah, it's not about detail. It's just as you said. Because like so many people have drawn Batman, but what is it that makes us like one version of Batman versus another one, right? It's the style, the interpretation. So if something looks too close to the actual reference or the inspiration, like if you're drawing from life, then Where's the fun in that, The room to be creative is sacrificed. I have a thing now where like I make the eyes a little bit too big, so I do have to work on that, but it's nothing that can't be fixed. You say, but I have seen most of the viewers see details in the artwork. What I mean when I say that is it's not about, you know, you see he's got like some wrinkles here by his cheekbones and um, you know, other like spots and stuff on his face. That's not how you actually draw that, It's not how you put it on a page. It's not by taking the time and putting a dot there and okay, there's a wrinkle here and here and here and stuff like that. That's finishing stuff, but it's not the most important thing of a drawing. Like you saw, you could see this looked basically like Tom Holland, and I didn't even add much detail because of what you already said, right? Forms and shapes. So many people, especially when starting with their drawings, they get very obsessed, and this is also me, okay? So I don't want to make it seem like I never had struggles. They can get very obsessed with, the the detail, the rendering, and all that, and yet it's not the most important thing. It's in fact you can make something look very good without the need for render. Not saying it's bad, not saying you should never draw it render, but like this is gonna go into your other question in terms of practice. What you wanna practice on is not all that detailed stuff. It's the stuff that matters the most, which is the foundation. The foundation is firm and you practice it and you remember it and all that stuff, then there's a lot of potential for how good your drawings will get when you add more detail. So that's what I meant when I said like it's not about detail. Like you don't need it. Haven't you seen like comic books like Peanuts, right? Or Garfield? Then those cartoons don't have much detail, and yet you can see that Garfield is a cat, and with Peanuts those are little kids, and Snoopy's a dog, even though I know in real life you've probably never seen a dog like that before, right? And here I could decide to add more stuff. The point was not drawing Tom Holland, so I need to stop trying to do this thing seriously. My point was just the fact that um, you can, if you want, take from his thing, his reference, and not even draw him so like close to the way he looks. And that's one way you can use reference. And then if you do now want to draw Tom Holland in your own style, then there are things that you need to have in mind and have accurately drawn on his face. I learned even that about like drawing caricatures. That once you get those parts of the face right, then it will always look like the person. So with my drawing, for example, I can see that the eyes were too big because that's the problem I've been having. Could make them smaller, maybe like this. I don't know if that's gonna help. But like I can see certain things that if I change, then it's gonna give me the outcome that I want, and so on and so forth. But it's just a sketch. So I hope that answers your question. I know it's like a long winded way of saying it. To your other question now, how much time you should practice? Um, as often as you can is the best way that I can answer that question. And so, what I mean is the fact that if you have 30 minutes to draw something, to practice, etc., then spend 30 minutes drawing. The best thing I can recommend for you to do is to look at the time that you have in a day and what you do, you know? Because most people say they don't have time, but we all have time to do the things that we like. It's just that some things will be sacrificed. So if some of that time you're spending playing games and that's the only other time you have to draw, then you can use that time to draw, you know? So how often you should practice as much as you possibly can, man, for real. Like the more you practice, the better you'll become. 100%. When I'm not very busy, I'm able to draw for an hour besides the live streams. Um, and I found that to be a good amount of time to practice. And sometimes I'll do sketches, like I'll do sketches and during the day when I'm bored, in my notebook or something. But in any case, um, yeah, if you have an hour, use an hour. If you have 30 minutes, use 30 minutes. But it's just about consistency. If you have 10 minutes, use 10 minutes. So that's what I would say um, to that question. I hope that answered your question. Let's see. See, sometimes I don't just feel like picking up my pencil for a little sketch. I do think that I use most of my brain on the course, learning and practicing. And after that sketch doesn't feel okay. Let me see if I'm understanding what you're saying. You just don't feel like picking up your pencil for a little sketch. Most of your brain, you use most of your brain on the course learning and practicing. So you basically don't feel like sketching afterwards. Is that what you're saying? He, I made Tom old on my thing, bro. Forgive me, Tom. Yeah, please let me know if I understood you correctly. Okay. Yeah, let's see what we can. Let's talk about that. So how often do you spend on this course? Because I know that, like, I don't know, there'll be like 30 minutes, 1 hour. I don't know, but like I know that there's a time period set. for how long they are and stuff. How long are they? Like the classes. How many do you watch and stuff? 1.5 hours. Then man, you don't need to sketch after that, you know? And how many times are you watching the classes? Like how many classes do you watch in a day? You spend 1.5 hours and including the 30 minutes practice. Man, if you're spending time practicing already through the course, then you've drawn enough for the day. You don't need to do those sketches. But when you do it this way, as let me find out. Are you saying that when you do it this way, you're finding that drawing is not fun for you anymore? Is that your problem? I can't draw cool stuff afterwards that I want to because I don't know. I feel like my brain has enough knowledge for today. Yeah, and then there's also the other thing. I don't think that your problem is the amount of time that you like the use of your brain. I think it's the expectations that you have on yourself, and that after doing a class or a lesson, now I should be able to draw something cool looking and stuff. But that is not how mastery works. That's not how you improve in any skill. Does that feel like something you're doing? That you're giving yourself an expectation of um, being able to draw something impressive and stuff after the practicing is over. Yeah, yeah, I imagine that. Um, you're having an expectation, you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself, and it's actually not going to help you continue to draw. So take it from me. In fact, I'm gonna show you some. Would you like to see my drawings from last year? to show you the drawings I did when I came back to drawing after nearly a decade. Okay, no problemo. One moment. Okay, I have it right here. First sketchbook that I bought, I think officially, and it was almost 10 years since the last time I drew. So this was the best that I could possibly do, and that's how I started the page. But I want to show you how I used to draw faces. All of this is the practice stuff that I was doing. But if you look at my shapes, can you see how hard I was drawing with my pencil? I didn't know how to draw lightly very well. Yeah, look at this. Look at this burger, this megaphone, these fry. Like, I was trying to, play around with shapes. And I want to show you like more something more specific. And like, look at the spoon, bro. Look at, if I could show you the original, a spoon doesn't look like this, right? Or even and look at, like, I was doing a lot of this, a lot of shading, but I wasn't getting certain things right. I wasn't focusing on the right things. Yeah, here. So like one in a shade, one in a test shading and stuff, but like the ear is like basically stuck to his head, for example, and his eyebrows and the crown of his head where things are supposed to sit. This samurai's ears, you see that? And then I'll show you something even crazier. Watch this. If you see the original picture, you would see that I did not do a good job. Like right now by itself, it's like, oh, okay. But if you know the original picture, you know this isn't good. And it took a very long time. Like, very long. And it still wasn't good. Let me show you. Yeah, so look at this. Look at how I used to draw the proportions of a male. You see that? See how weird that looks? Right? Like, how are the arms only here? They look so short. The legs, the head. This one's a bit better, but. And then I drew a Superman picture. Look at that. Look at how long his neck is. You see that? And I was focused on all this detail. And it didn't make the picture look any better because the foundation was a problem. And why am I sharing this with you? I'm sharing this with you for you to see that everyone starts somewhere. And when you decide to practice the right things, look, even this, right? Like, this isn't good. I did post a recent one. I did this picture again and it looks much better. But when I decided to focus on the things that will make my drawings look good, the fundamentals, right? That's when I started to see real progress. And when I didn't make it about how soon I'm going to understand the principle, just being able to do it at your own pace. Like, you don't have to rush to understand anything that you're learning right now. That's the first thing I need you to make sure you remind yourself. The most important thing is that you understand. That's it. If it takes 3 years to understand, then it's 3 years worth doing it until you understand. If it takes 2 years, 10 years, it doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter because there's no arriving when it comes to anything we do in life, especially drawing. Like, people, your art masters and professionals, they practice every day. And the reason they practice and they still practice is because of what I'm telling you now, which is the fact that, like, hello, there's always something to learn, there's always room to improve, there's always space to grow. So that's what I hope you remember as you're practicing. I actually have a a program that is focused on, you know, beginners getting their foundations. Like, I work with you intimately, so you get feedback from me one on one, and then I help you in the areas where you're weak and get clarity on what it is that you like to draw exactly, and you know where you'd like to go with your art career. And from there, I give you like basically a roadmap so that you can learn to have a routine and draw at your own pace, like regardless of your life, your schedule, it fits nicely into your schedule. And you find yourself learning the principles that I did, and your drawings improving, right? Because that's the reason why we want to do that. Because I started like that in January last year, but by November, you know, I'm definitely much better than I was. And you can get the same kind of progress from my foundations course. So if you're interested in that, we would have um, yeah, feedback, like you're asking for review, and I'll review your stuff. But if you would like to get more attention, more clarity, more of a guide, I'm more than happy to help you um, when you join my foundations program. It's for 30 days. And yeah, if you're interested in that, let me know. You say, yeah, you are being too hard on you. Yep, you are, bro. There is no arriving there, my friend. There is no getting there. I didn't think I was gonna draw this lady here, but I knew I was gonna draw a woman. I managed to hook up my microphone with OBS because I have a wireless mic that I use for the videos. I hope it's better quality. Let's see if I can add some shading. Exactly. You need to slow down, you need to find your pace. We do need patience. Well, we all need patience, my friend. So I hope that's a reminder for you. I'm doing some kind of like shading from imagination. I do not expect it to go well, but it's okay. I didn't see that, unfortunately, so I missed out. In any case, man, another thing is don't, it's okay to make mistakes. Like, it's okay. Don't feel like the work that you make, all of it has to be impressive. It's like, nope. It's okay to have bad drawings. In fact, I would say the Tom Holland drawing was bad, but it's okay. It was an opportunity to learn and see how to improve in my weak areas. So it's always worth doing. I look forward to when I'm gonna learn more about like values, shading, and stuff. It's gonna be cool. But right now, the most important thing for me is just the figure, and that's what I've been learning. I'm about to leave now, so if you have any more questions, comments, let me know. Let me check Instagram. I don't even realize that I've been here for an hour. It is quite fun learning. I'm glad to hear that, man. And like always know that I'm happy to see you here, and glad to have you in this space. I know that you already saw maybe a little bit on my Instagram. Let me show you something real quick. Right, this is my book. Oh, yeah, this camera, or even this one. Draw again, dream again. How to reignite your artistic passion and keep the fire burning. You can get it on Amazon if you're interested in it, and it speaks about a little bit of what you were saying you were struggling with, right? I wrote everything that I experienced last year coming back to drawing, and all the things that I do now that not only make me draw well, but have fun and see progress at my home, and even with a job, even with a wife, even with children. So you want me to review your work here live? I can do that, I guess. Let me see how I can set that up. But in any case, yeah, understanding the 7 psychological reasons artists quit and how to overcome them, and you learn the science of building skill through deliberate practice, and then I give you my framework that makes you go from beginner to intermediate in less than a year. It's possible. I did it in 10 months, and I hadn't drawn for 10, like 10, almost 10 years. So it's definitely possible for you. And then you also discover your unique artist archetype, so that you know what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, and building a creative practice that fits your life. Whether you have a job, whether you have school, doesn't matter. It's all in here. So I'll give you a link if there is one for India, but if I don't find one, I'll just leave the name of the book. And then if you feel like it can help you with some of the problems that you're facing, then yeah, go ahead and check it out. I think you'll find it very valuable. Let me see. Where is Okay, can you see me? Looks like I'm back. Let me know if you can see me. And then I'm gonna give your drawing a quick review, and I'll be out of here. Okay. If no one's saying anything, I'm gonna head out. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hoping in this ending of the broadcast, whoever's watching, if Fade is still around. Fallen Soap, if you're still on, it was good to have you. And I will see you next week. Definitely want to be creating um, more content, so expect that. And yeah, as already said, dropped my book. Hope you enjoy it. I hope you find value in it. I hope you have a great weekend. And till next time, bye for now.